Hey everybody, and welcome to this next episode of Practical Preparation. I think we've reached a stage with the bunker now where we've come to a fork in the road. And what I mean by that is I think some people get into prepping and they're all about let's hoard food, and I'm there. But then they don't really rotate it out, right? So, and then it starts stacking up, and then it becomes, a city ordinance issue. I don't want to go there. I don't need to go there, and so I started to realize that I'm running out of room. I'm running out of room, and so instead of buying more cheap plastic shelving, I'm not going to do that anymore because it bows. I've decided I'm going to make my own shelving. And so you can see right here, I've got some work to do. I've got all my canned soup. I've got canned stuff here. And I want to put a shelving system up in here. So the first part is getting the soup out of the way and then getting this shelving system out of the way so we can put in a wooden 2x4 platform system in here. So over the next few days, this is going to be kind of like this old house, and we're just going to start tearing into this shit. So welcome along. Enjoy the ride. All right. Bye. Hey there. So last night I was talking about that I had to get this space all cleared out here. So I cleaned that space out, and then I just put my soup over there. Every one of those layers is 40 cans, so I got a little over 200 cans of soup right now. I want to get about 1,100. And then I put all the canned goods and boxes and whatnot over here, and it feels discombobulated right now and kind of frustrating. But, the beautiful and terrifying thing about life is nothing's permanent. Nothing's permanent. So it's like, this is all going to remedy itself and everything's going to be okay. But now we're going to start building the superstructure. Okay, so now I've got to figure out how high do I want these shelving units to go. And what I've come up with is about 5.5 feet tall. So about 66 inches. So I'm going to cut 3 uprights, and that's what we'll use to start the structure. So here you can see I've set up that board at 5'6". That's going to be one of the uprights. Let's cut her.
Visit eagle1027.com. Napa know-how. The Napa guy knows. The only way you get a fresh and minute drive for a brand new car is if he promises to never drive it. Instead, let him grind the gears and knock over the neighbor's mailbox.
So what I'm doing here is just basically I want to scribe. I'm going to put some concrete anchor bolts in here. So I'm just going to easily be able to center where my concrete anchors will go. Okay, so if you can see right here, I've just basically taken a combination square, marked it there, and now I'm just gonna drill some pilot holes in here. So So I've got something to drill the concrete anchors into. So yeah, cool stuff. All right, so now we've got to anchor these studs to the concrete block wall. So you're gonna need just a cheap hammer drill. I got this for like 20 bucks at Menards, but you're gonna need a hammer drill with the masonry bit. Then we're going to take and get the concrete anchor, and we're going to attach that into our, we're going to start to seat these in. Now what we want to do is take little torpedo level and just get this so it's somewhat close to where it needs to be. Gotta kick in. Good. And we'll drill the rest of the holes and place the rest of the concrete anchors. Okay, so here we are on another day, kind of finishing up a couple hours of work. Just wanted to show you all kind of what's going on here. I've put all the supports up. I don't know if you can see in there. I countersunk all these holes so these lags, these concrete anchors, would go in past flush. And right now we're just kind of trying to square everything up. We got a real old house here, and get everything as tight as we can on our form, so when we start building shelves and whatnot, we're going to be square. That's a big part of it. So yeah, just taking our time and making sure that we're building a rock of a foundation that Jesus would be awfully proud of. Hey there, so I'm just finishing up anchoring some braces to the floor. The ball jars that these come in are approximately 11.5 by 15. So my idea is I'll be able to put 2 deep and 2 high on every shelf. So I want to make sure that I reinforce all this stuff so we don't get saggage over the years. So I'm putting in a couple of those concrete anchors, and I'm realizing that I never... Oh, fuck. Whoa, all right. I'm realizing that I didn't really show you all how I did that. So first of all, I drilled a 3/16 inch hole in the boards there. You can see there's a 3/16 inch drill bit, and then I used a 1/2 inch wood bit to kind of countersink that, so those heads would go beneath the surface of the beneath the surface of the wood. Now I take a 3/16 inch masonry bit and just drill through the concrete. So I'm going to do that now. And it's kind of loud and everything, but yeah, so okay, so then once that's done, you could just anchor, just drill in the concrete anchor. So that's all there is to it. Okay, so now you can see I've put down 5 panels, and each panel needed to be 16 5/8 inches wide by 30 inches long. This is 3/8 inch OSB, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we've got the first shelf down. It's off the ground, so keep it out of moisture. If the basement was ever to flood, we've got a little bit of leeway there. And so now we'll start making our next frame for the second shelf. Okay, so here's the first shelf. So we just drilled and tapped 2 holes. You can see there's 2 other holes in there. The pilot holes were too big. Want to make sure you get the right size pilot holes. And then these supports, you can see how it comes out like this, and then these come out to the end, the 30 inchers. And then the middle supports we have going on the inside. Yeah, so one thing that you want to do when you're building something like this is make sure that everything is square. And the way you do that is you measure, we have about 87.5 there. And if you measure from both diagonal ends, and we have about 83 and 9/16. So that's pretty good. We got 16th inch out of square over 7 feet. So that's really good. So everybody's like, why don't you show yourself cutting it? It's like, I'm trying to film, cut, do everything. I can't. But now I've got Yuki is my cameraman today. Mai is going to be holding this. So all you're going to do, you got to hold it like you mean it. You got to hold it like you mean it.
Okay, alright, I'm going to hold it like I mean it.
Like, this is not a toilet tissue.
Okay, it's not a toilet tissue.
Okay, are you ready, Yuki? This is going to be loud. Alright, is everybody ready?
Alright, go.
Okay. What did you do?
I didn't do it.
Alright, hold it like that. Okay, well, welcome back to Practical Preparation. Mai, welcome back. I'm gonna give you, okay, let me give you a tutorial here. This is plywood, okay, and it's a little bit heavy. So you're just gonna want to grab, and when I make a hole through there, when I get to about there, it's gonna drop. Okay?
I got it.
Alright, you got it?
I got it.
You on board with me now?
I think so.
Okay. One thing you want to remember when you're doing any kind of measuring or anything like that, I was just kind of thinking of what my grandpa used to teach me when we were hunting. Aim small, miss small. So like if you aim for the eye, you're gonna hit the head. So you just want to make sure that all your measurements are precise, and keep your accuracy pretty exact. You ready? Here we go. You got it?
I got it.
Okay.
Oh, look.
Wow! Wow! Nice job. Wow. Wow. That's the way it's done. That way, so it's... Yep, flip it. There you go. There you go. Nice. Now what do we do?
Align it again?
Match it. Yep, align it. Good girl. Not one.
Oh, the D, okay.
Yep. Get it perfect. Good job. Want to draw the line?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, go ahead. Nice. Nice.
Okay.
What does that say?
I love you.
I love you, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a nice thing to say to your mom.
Ready?
No, yep, tighten it up. Good job. Yay. How's it feel to be awesome?
Good.
Good. All right, so here we go. That's how it's done, son. Okay, so we're looking at Monday night here. And of course, the project never goes quite as quick as what you'd like for it to do. But I was thinking last night that I wanted to put structural supports in between these slats. I calculated how much load each one of these shelves would be bearing, and all said and told, this whole thing is gonna hold between 1,800 and 2,100 pounds. So you can kind of see down here what the idea is. We've got two, you can see that we've got 48 jars. You gotta figure those are about 1 5/8 pounds a piece, somewhere between 1 5/8 and 2 pounds a piece when they're filled. And you're gonna have 6 rows on each shelf. You're gonna have 4 shelves. So yeah, I think it's 1,152 jars this will fit when it's all done. I read the other day that in a grid down scenario where you don't have any food, bare minimum you want to figure for a family of 4 to have 5 quarts of food a day. That's bare minimum. So this would hold about half of that. Okay, well, it is all done, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, that's what we've got here. And you can see kind of what I was trying to do with the quart size jars. Those will stack too high and then they'll go too deep. Ironically enough, this is all happening the night that our president has launched 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles on Syria. And if you can see what I'm doing here, it really isn't that hard. You know, I'm getting coffee, some seasonings, just basically all the stuff that I need, you know, some water, pasta. But if you don't see that the world is really fucked up right now, you're in what's called a normalcy bias. And that's basically like normalcy bias would be fire alarm goes off in the motel and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you think, well, it's just a false alarm. You know, there's nothing going to really happen. I'm not going to burn up in a fire. So you ignore it, and sure as shit, the motel's on fire. You know, it's not just Syria, it's not just President Trump, it's the earth is warming. You know, there's thermoclasts in the Arctic that are evaporating methane into the atmosphere. That's 86 times more potent than the exhaust coming out of your car. So the greenhouse gases are 86 times more potent. Whether you like it or not, there is climate change going on. And if you deny that and deny 99% of the scientists in the world, it's happening. You know, our electrical grid is severely compromised. Severely compromised. We have journalists like Ted Koppel that are writing books. This is Ted Koppel of Nightline. He's talking to people like Leon Panetta, Richard Clark, high-ranking officials within the Department of Defense, Homeland Security, the FBI. Our grid is highly compromised, you know. And there's things called coronal mass ejections that the sun puts off every once in a while. It happens every 100 to 200 years. Scientists know this. The last coronal mass ejection was called the Carrington event. And that was when telegraphs and stuff were just coming online. The reality is that it fried everything that it hit. You know, EMP. There's nothing crazy about stockpiling food. You know, humans have done this throughout all time up until 30, 40 years ago. So if the shit hits the fan, whether it's a tornado, a forest fire, chemical spill, and you're not ready, you're going to be asking yourself, why didn't I have a little bit more on hand? Buy an extra bottle of Tylenol. Buy some vegetables when they're on sale. Learn how to can. All right.
Dad, bye.
Bye.